Well, the Tesla roller coaster is basically in full swing. I mean, we had massive swings low at the beginning of the year, then multi-year swings back up, and then now we're swinging back down once again. So are there more huge moves coming for Tesla? The answer is definitively yes, and I'll tell you exactly why, and more importantly, exactly how to deal with it, and I'll give you multiple techniques to do just that. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. All right, guys, so here we go. Tesla stock. Let me throw the chart up right here for you guys so we can basically have some context to all this. Basically, coming into the end of last year and in the beginning of this year, the stock was essentially in free fall, and the narrative was just run from the stock. It's terrible. It's done for. Elon bought Twitter, and therefore all the drama that came along with that. Just you're not going to have any customers. Demand is drying up. I mean, every single narrative you got out there, not just from the bears, but from the bulls, was negative. I mean, don't buy it now. It's going to 60, it's going to 80, whatever the case was. The point being, the vast majority of even the bulls were kind of bearish on Tesla at that time, much less the bears who were obviously bearish on Tesla at that time. And then Tesla does what it always does. You basically strap on the rocket ship and it's basically up, all the way until almost $300 or so when, guess what? Everybody basically flipped and now it was Tesla to 400. There were even people out there saying Tesla could maybe hit 1,000 by the end of the year and a bunch of other ridiculous stuff like that. And guys, this is not the end of massive moves for Tesla just this year. It just isn't. I mean, I've been doing this for over 20 years now, and I have never seen a more volatile stock than Tesla stock is, especially in large cap. Obviously, small caps and even some mid caps can move like this, but for a large cap stock, nothing moves like Tesla does either before, and I don't know if we'll ever see anything moving like this afterwards for such a sustained long period of time. So I personally fully expect some massive moves, and this is where it gets very, very dangerous for you as an investor. But before discussing those dangers and exactly how to handle that, if you want help from A to Z with Tesla stock in regards to valuations, price targets, actually how to understand what you're looking at and how to do proper due diligence on it so that way you avoid a lot of the dangers that we're going to discuss. And you want to see my watch list with price targets and my price target for Tesla and when I buy Tesla and all that good stuff like that, make sure you check out the Market Insiders private group where we have a sale right now going on celebrating the stock analyzer tool that's completely free for you guys as members. So if you sign up right now, you actually get to keep that price today for the length of your membership. As long as you stay a member, your price never goes up, but I have to raise the price in order to support this new stock analyzer tool and continue to make it free for members once they sign up. But if you get the discount price right now, you don't have to pay that markup whenever it happens. You also get 5 courses for free, access to the best Discord out there. I put, 3, 4, 5 videos a week in there for you. We do live Q&As every week at a minimum. You can slide into my DMs anytime you want. There's so much content in there, guys. There's absolutely not more value for the price that I have out there. Check it out and see. Look at other people's groups, look at all their tools, and see if you get everything for the same exact price you're getting for our group here. Maybe I'm missing something, and yeah, obviously I'm biased. I understand that. But check it out, compare it, and see if a membership's right for you. It'll be the first pinned comment down there. Because once this sale ends, the price is going up forever. So I want to make sure everybody has a chance to jump on the cheaper price right now before that price goes up. So there are essentially 2 reasons why Tesla stock is going to continue to be the most volatile large cap stock in the history of the stock market. And we're going to see some massive moves. So let's discuss those next. So number 1, I can make an incredible bull case for Tesla. I mean, look, we have Cybertruck coming online. We continue to have record deliveries, quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. You have the energy business growing like crazy. You have the charging network growing like crazy, and I think it's going to be a huge revenue driver. You have a lot of things that are being actively worked on right now that are light years ahead of all the competition. There's just so much going on here positively with the stock and so many different revenue generators that are going to come in the future here. A run back up to all-time highs by the end of the year would not surprise me at all. It's definitely in the realm of possibility. Now, I think the possibility is kind of low, but it absolutely would not surprise me. And more importantly, it is an actual possibility. Again, not saying it's likely, so don't go quote me there saying, hey, Luke's saying it's going to all-time highs. Just saying I would not be surprised at all, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. I personally think it would be way overvalued at that level, given where everything's at right now, but that doesn't mean that it can't get there, guys. That's exactly what I'm saying. To me, it'd be overvalued if it got there, but if it got there, I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't. This is the way Tesla moves, and this is the way it kind of just does business. This is Tesla stock in a nutshell. And reason number 2 is I can just as easily make an incredible bear case against Tesla. Look, in the short term, with all the price cuts, and who knows when those price cuts are actually going to end, and although I agree with the strategy, I can't lie and say in the short term, it's not going to hurt EPS because it is. It's going to hurt margins. Heck, I've been hearing about full self-driving every year now for a lot of years. What is it, 6, 7, 8, something like that. And guess what? Even when he finally solves it, and I do think he will solve it, it still has all the regulation and all the other minutia it has to go to. And then how much is the adoption rate actually going to be for full self-driving? How much is it going to actually cost? Because right now it's not affordable for the vast majority of people. And a lot of other questions like that I think they will absolutely answer. But for right now, that's a negative against the stock in the short term because it's not here yet and it's a giant unknown. So I can't really count on that. Heck, a tough macro environment is going to hurt Tesla stock. It just is. I mean, we can say it's not a car company all we want, but for right now, it is absolutely the vast majority of the revenue is generated from the car business, which means a lot of investors, and this isn't me, guys, this is a lot of other investors, aren't going to be willing to give it a tech multiple, or at least not a full tech multiple. Right now, it's kind of getting some sort of a hybrid multiple, kind of in between. All of those things obviously equate to a lot of downward pressure on Tesla stock, and I honestly can't argue with them. It's going to make sense that, hey, those violent moves down are absolutely a possibility. And again, building a bear case for Tesla stock in the short term. I agree with you guys all long term, but in the short term, over the next few quarters, there's a very good case to be made that the numbers are not going to necessarily get better in the short term, given a lot of those other things that are going on. So to me, the real question is not if we're going to have a huge move up or down. That's absolutely not the question. The question is, which is it going to be? Is it going to be a huge move up, or are we looking for another huge leg down in Tesla stock? The answer is, it doesn't matter, and you need to be prepared because everybody who says anything differently than that is absolutely guessing. For everybody who says it's going to explode up right now from here, which it may very well be, those same exact people were saying it was going to explode up, and the exact opposite happened last year, and obviously earlier this year whenever it got up around $300 or so. And I've seen the vice versa play out as well, and look at just last year. I mean, all the geniuses that were guessing what the heck was going to go on with Tesla stock, they were right sometimes, in terms of it coming down, and then other times they were completely wrong and the complete opposite happened. Basically meaning their guesses were essentially 50-50 in the end over the course of the entire year, and nobody knows where the market is heading in the short term. Warren Buffett says that, Peter Lynch says that, every other great investor ever says that. Who the heck am I or anybody else to say anything any different? So in this scenario where you got everybody guessing everything and it's just basically a giant roller coaster, you got to do these things right here in order to basically survive the roller coaster ride. You have to leave emotions completely out of this in order to survive whatever the heck's going to happen next with Tesla stock. I mean, when it was down around 100, everybody was saying sell and go away, and all the fear and all the stuff was just at peak levels. And you got to keep your emotions in check because when you do, you could easily see this is a steal deal for Tesla. Sure, it may go to 80. Sure, it may go to 60. Nobody knows. But the point being, it was very, very easy to see when you take emotions out of the equation, that $100 was a steal deal for Tesla stock. And then when it goes on a run, you have to control that emotion of FOMO as well and understand exactly what's going on as this is racing towards all-time highs and all the hype and all the noise and all the bulls and everybody else just kind of comes out of the woodwork telling you these crazy price targets and everything else like that. You've got to control those emotions because then you're buying at those all-time highs or even higher. And then at that stage, whenever it inevitably ends, you're stuck right back in the red again. And a lot of times, a lot in the red. And that's a tough spot to be in with Tesla stock. But here are two techniques that you can use to keep those emotions completely in check and not have to worry about what the heck's going on with the stock and basically to be able to ride the roller coaster confidently and actually enjoy the ride. So the first one is exactly what I do and exactly what I use, and it's exactly what we teach in our group, and that is a modified DCA. So what does that mean exactly? Well, nobody can time the market, but what I can do is I can get a valuation for a stock, and then I also can understand that stocks all the time through their history of their journey, go from undervalued to overvalued, then back to undervalued, and back to undervalued, and vice versa. But I can't predict when those moves up and down are going to come and how they're going to happen and how long they're going to happen for or anything else like that. Everybody says they can. They're full of it, guys. They can't. But what you can do is you can figure out a valuation for the stock itself. A valuation gives me a very clear number as to what actual fair value is. And then at that stage, I'm basically looking at my DCA. And in my case, for a modified DCA, it's different than a regular DCA. I basically wait until, in this case, Tesla stock falls to my price target. So that's the first thing I'm waiting for. I'm getting fair value there. Then I kind of decide the price target that I want to pay for that stock. Obviously, for me, I have a completely full position in Tesla. I need no Tesla. So my price target is a lot lower than it would be if I needed or I wanted to add more shares to Tesla stock. So basically, I put my price target there. Again, it's just for me. My valuation, my plan kind of fits in with my goals with my portfolio and everything else. So it's sitting right there. And then as the stock, if it comes down to it and falls to it, okay, I start my DCA right there. And then if it continues to fall further, which does happen, I just continue to DCA as normal. And for me personally, I actually put in more money as it continues to fall. Basically, if you want to give me a screaming deal, not just a great deal on Tesla stock, but a screaming deal, like back down to 100 again, I'm going to happily add shares all day long, basically putting in max buys that I can on my DCA and basically focusing all my DCA money there at that stage because that's a steal deal. And hey, you want to beat it down even more? Great. I'll buy even more because I'm looking out 3 to 5 years now at a minimum. And obviously with a stock like Tesla, I'd love to hold it for the next 10, 20, hopefully forever. And then if it runs back up past my price target, I basically stop my DCA at that stage. I'm perfectly happy right there. But this technique prevents me from basically buying any sort of hype run that happens in the stock. And then vice versa, as it's falling, I don't have any fear when it falls because I'm just simply following my plan and I know it's going to work out because I don't know where it's going and neither does anybody else. Nobody knows how high those highs are going to go or how low those lows are going to go. So let me just eliminate the guesswork out of it altogether. Nobody can guess the bottom and it's not about that at all. I don't care to me if I bought Tesla at 120 and you managed to buy it at 102 or 110, or I think I bought it at 104 or something like that. The point being, it wasn't about guessing the bottom. It was about just understanding that I was getting a deal in the stock. And hey, I don't really care if I would have just only done it, only bought down to 120 and didn't get all the way down to that 102. Doesn't matter right now, does it? I mean, you're still happy regardless. So it takes all the pressure off of me trying to guess an entry point, trying to guess that bottom, and trying to do some things like that. It's a simple DCA down, just as simple as that. Again, we teach that in our group specifically, but it may not be right for you. And I totally understand that. It's not right for everyone at all. So there is another alternative. And to me, that is just simply do a regular DCA. Very, very simple, guys. Put it on a schedule, whether it's monthly, whether it's every pay period, whatever the case is, have your money that you set aside. You got so much money coming into your investing account every month, whether that's $400, $1,000, whatever the heck you have coming in every month to invest, and take that money and on that payday or on every Friday, or, for those of you no buffers out there that somehow think you know what's going on with the stock. I don't know. Who knows, guys? On that day or that designated time, just execute buys on Tesla. And don't look. I mean, just buy and kind of move on. Buy and kind of move on. You'll be buying the highs, you'll be buying the lows, and you'll be buying everywhere in between. But the point being, over the course of a 10-year, 20-year period, however the heck long you decide to DCA into the stock, you're going to have a super nice position built out. And if Tesla continues to perform and executes the way we think they're all going to execute, you're going to have a lot of money on your hands, and you're going to have a lot of shares too that are going to make you a very, very happy investor over the long term. There are very few strategies that beat a DCA, guys. Don't be fooled by that, by any of these other trading things, or hey, I'm a macro this or a trader that, whatever the case is. 99% of them don't beat a DCA in general. So there's really no need to get any more complicated than that. But if you want help just with your due diligence or basically analyzing a stock, and you want to see examples on, my watch list with price targets, it's full of all the price targets for all the stocks I'm looking at. And you want to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time. You want to take 5 courses for free. You want to be able to view basically an endless library, several hundred videos of exclusive videos that I posted to our group, and we continue to post 3, 4, 5 of them every week. You want to slide into my DMs. You want to jump on our live Q&As and ask me questions live. You want to use that stock analyzer tool completely for free, where you can basically say, hey, what senators are buying my stock that I'm looking at right now? Hey, what are insiders doing with the stock? And a whole bunch of other research information like that. Make sure you check out the pinned comment down there for the Market Insiders private group, because the sale is going on right now. And when it's over with, guys, the price has to go up forever. So make sure you lock in your membership, because you get to keep that price as long as you stay a member. And click this video here if you want to see the exact stocks I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.